What up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. We are back in East Rumvelt, Georgetown, Guyana. This is the community center, the East Rumvelt Community Center, where there was a fire recently. That building housed a preschool, and I think the last time we looked at it might have been over a year ago, when we took a peek inside and saw there was furniture, there's classroom furniture, so there was like lessons classes. But this is the community center ground for this neighborhood. Like I said in the past, Guyana, that is the layout of the communities, has been in the past around community center or community center ground, a health center or clinic, a police station, and so on, and schools. And this was one of the community center grounds. Sometime last week somebody set this building on fire, and it came as a surprise because nobody thought that this building was anywhere controversial. Now, it could also have been an electrical fire, because the electrical situation in Guyana is notorious for starting fires because of the constant power cuts and the power surges and poor electrical contracting. So that could have been the cause. But what is happening here is highly unusual and is cause for concern, because not half a mile from here is the police station, the East Rumvelt police station. And that building, or there was a grenade attack on that building, on the back of that building, around the same time, like a couple of days before this incident occurred. That's what's happening in this neighborhood. And it's not always pretty, but it's election season, and Venezuela is about or planning, lining up an attack on Essequibo. So all these things make life in Guyana much more complicated than I usually show on this channel. So like I said, not half a mile from here, actually less than a quarter of a mile, community center is in that direction. We just came from there, a few hundred meters away. That's the community center. And this is the East Rumvelt police station. That is the police outpost where a grenade attack was launched. So that building, that small building in the middle of the road, it seems, is where the grenade attack was launched. And the back gate, which is, now you can see there's some tape. There's a triangular layout of police tape. That is where the grenade attack was made. And so it's still a mystery, because the police is investigating what's going on in this neighborhood of East Rumvelt. First, the police station's attacked with a grenade, then the community center was destroyed by fire, and around the same time that there was a grenade attack on the police station, it was discovered that one of the towers that support the power lines from the power ship, somebody had either put an explosive on the bottom, on the foot of the post, and that was part of that news cycle, that there was a grenade attack on the power system. Apparently somebody tried to bring down the power lines with a grenade or some small explosive. So these are the towers that support the power lines, and right at the base, not this one in particular, it was discovered that somebody had let off an explosive and destroyed, or attempted to destroy, this tower. This one is located outside of Floral Park, which is fast food housing development in this neighborhood. And these power lines run along this reserve, this embankment, all the way to the Demerara River, where the power ship is located. And somebody attempted to bring down the power lines. Now, we're not saying it's Venezuela, but it's beginning to look like a foreign attempt at destabilizing the country. That is still being investigated, but it's highly unusual because we have not seen explosives used in Guyana, at least not in residential areas, because the only people who actually use explosives in Guyana are the miners, probably in the mining region. But nobody in Georgetown has seen or heard of explosives since Walter Rodney, I think, was killed way back in the 1980s, in the early 1980s. That was the last time there was an explosion. That was never the attack, that is the person who assassinated Walter Rodney. That was never brought to justice. But this is what's happening in this neck of the woods. Thought I'd bring this up because it is part of the news cycle, and I don't always want to gloss over what's happening in the news cycle. That's looking east on Mandela Avenue. This is looking west on Mandela Avenue. But that's what's been in the news cycle in this neck of the woods. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe, share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening in the fastest growing country in the world, Guyana. Later!